first part of the module, right, we will be discussing about some of the important materials like metals, okay, ceramics, then composites, etc., which are popularly used. Okay, so before going with that, we will just look at the classification of engineering materials, how these materials are classified. Okay, so engineering materials are classified into two types broadly. Okay, first one we call it as metals. The second one we call it as non-metals. See, metals are further classified into ferrous and non-ferrous. See, ferrous are ones which contain some composition of iron, for example, wrought iron, carbon steels, alloy steels, cast iron, etc. Non-ferrous are those which does not contain iron in it, like aluminium, copper, lead, gold, silver, tin, etc. There are non-ferrous metals. Okay, whereas iron, steel, etc. Are all ferrous metals. Okay, if you see in your life anywhere, okay, say maybe at your home or in your college, etc., one or the other application, either ferrous or non-ferrous metals, you can definitely find. Some places we see aluminium structures, some places we see iron structures, steel structures, etc. Okay, so this is the first class of materials. We call it as metals. They are naturally available in the earth crust. You can modify them. Okay, you can take them by mining. You can modify to any form. The second are one which are called as non-metals. Usually they are found out by human beings by certain processes. Okay, popularly non-metals, two different non-metals are popularly used. One is polymers. Okay, in simple words, I can say they are different type of plastics. Okay, so there are two types usually, thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Okay, so examples also have given. Thermoplastic is PVC, acrylic, resins, etc. For example, you see plastic pipes, they are polyvinyl chloride pipes. Okay, they are thermoplastics which are non-metals. See, in earlier days, if you see, iron pipes were used, right? So because of rusting and other issues in modern buildings, you can see only PVC pipes will be used. Even after 50-60 years of usage, there will be no question of any rusting. So this is the advancement in technology. Okay, then thermosetting plastics like phenolphthalein, aldehyde, bakelite, polyesters, etc. These are some of the example plastic covers you can see. Okay, like that. So they are called as polymers. The second class of materials are ceramics. So ceramics are like glass, cement, concrete, some abrasives, etc. They are all called as ceramics. Okay, they are also derived from various sources. And one more class is missing here. It is called as composite materials, which are combination of two or three different materials to get a unique property. Right. So this is about the classification of engineering materials. Right. So just take down a rough sketch. We will go ahead. Harshit. Yes, I am removing from the class.
Sir, by mistake.
Okay, is it done?
So no, sir, 1 minute.
Okay. Okay. So engineering materials broadly they are classified into four types as we saw in the chart. One is metals and alloys. Second, under non-metals we have three. One is ceramics, one is polymers, and one is composites. Okay. So coming to the first type of classification, metals and alloys. So usually they are of two types. One is ferrous and non-ferrous, as we told. Okay. So a metal is an element substance in its pure form which is directly available in nature. Say for example, it may be iron, copper, silver, etc. It is called as a metal. It is available in nature in its pure form. What is an alloy? Alloy is nothing but it is formed when two or more metals are mixed together. Why should we mix these two or three metals? See, you have seen gold ornaments. Okay, so there are different terms like 24 karat, 22 karat, etc. You cannot use 100% gold for your ornaments because it is very ductile in nature, very soft. It cannot hold its shape, right? Easily it gets damaged. Around 88% of some other metal, if you start mixing, it becomes little bit harder so that you can convert it into a jewelry. Otherwise, you cannot make it as a jewelry. So gold as a whole, it is a metal. If you add some other metal to bring up its strength, it is called as an alloy. For example, like so while an alloy is formed when two or more metals are mixed together so that uniform homogeneously, that is uniformly they will be mixed so that you get some unique properties so that you can use it for any applications, right? So for some of the examples of alloys are brass. You might have seen some of the brass idols, right? Bronze vessels might be there, steel, etc. They are all alloys, mixture of one or two metals to get some unique properties. Further, these metals are broadly classified as ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous are ones which has some iron content in it. Non-ferrous metals are ones which has zero iron in it. Okay, so this is the first category of materials. Okay, the second comes is the ceramic. Okay, ceramics are nothing but they are compounds of metallic and non-metallic elements. See, there are metals and non-metals. Something between these two is called as a ceramic. Compound means it is a mixture of a metallic substance and a non-metallic substance so that you will get a unique hardness in it. You can use it for very versatile purposes. Some of the example are silicon carbide. So these carbide tools are used in various machining purposes. They are the hardest ones, right? So to get that hardness, we use some metal and a non-metal and we mix it homogeneously, right? So some of the examples of ceramics are silicon carbide, magnesium oxide, etc. The third grade of metals are polymers. Okay, the polymers are direct derivatives of carbon. The derivatives of carbon, okay, they will be having a long chain molecule with a 3D structure. For example, plastics, whatever you see, okay, polyethylene covers you might be seeing, they are all polymers, right? So they are made of long chain molecules of carbon for specific applications. For example, you might have seen, okay, so these days instead of iron or steel buckets we use plastic buckets for many purposes, right? But there are various reasons. Cost may be lesser, You can easily fabricate it. No question of resting. Its life will be good if you use a high grade plastic like that. So polymers are the second class of materials. The third next class of materials are composites. Composites are nothing but they are mixture of two different materials. One of the material is called as a base, which is called as matrix, and the second is called as a reinforcement. Okay, so if you club these two materials in different orientation, you will get some unique properties. In x-axis, the property will be different. In y-axis, the property will be different. Right? So like that, to get some unique properties directionally, we develop some materials called as composite materials. For example, it might be fiber reinforced plastics, carbon reinforced rubber, etc. Now, in this part of the module, one by one, we have to discuss in detail. So we will be discussing about metals and non-metals, ceramics and composites in detail, right? So first we will start with metals. Okay, ferrous metals. So what do you